worshiping, studying, and praying prior to the introduction of a Jesus Christ. And that's why I referenced the Black Panther, since it's so relevant and so exciting, because nowhere in the Black Panther movie do you see anyone call on Jesus Christ. In fact, what is the Black Panther's superpower? The Black Panther's superpower is the ability to connect with his ancestors. That's his superpower. The ability to get insight. Now, this is called clairvoyance. The ability to get insight from your ancestors. The ability to receive revelations from your ancestors and use it in the physical realm to empower you or your people. That's the Black Panther's not only superpower, but it is also our superpower present day. And we lost our superpower the second they disconnected us from our ancestors. And that's why we say the offspring of Mother Earth and the Heavenly Father. Because we're connected to the cosmos, the universe, and we're connected to planet Earth. That's why we say that. So we got to tap back into it consciously, because physically we're already connected to it. Like I said in a previous conversation, you have the 12 tectonic plates that's on planet Earth and a 600-mile sun in the center. You also have the 12 houses of the zodiac, and then you have the sun in the center. You also have the pineal gland, and you have 12 cranial nerves in the center. Anytime there's a shift or an event that takes place in the cosmos, there's a corresponding house of the zodiac that corresponds with the cranial nerve, that corresponds with a tectonic plate on planet Earth. You're supposed to be sensitive enough to know when you should leave from an environment, when it's the right time to make children, when it's the right time to go to sleep. It's called a circadian rhythm. There's different hours out the day where your heart is more stronger than other hours out the day. At 10:30 is when the cells in your body to say, you know what? We're going to shut down. At 12:30, at 10:30, the cells in your body say, we're not digesting no more food. But your chicken spots are open till 12 a.m., 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., and that is part of the warfare. How do you know that this is part of the warfare? How do you know this? It's part of the warfare because they know that your body stops breaking down food at 10:30 p.m. according to your circadian rhythm. That is your body's natural biological clock, your circadian rhythm. So where does the food get stored after you eat after 10:30? The food gets stored after you eat at 10:30. Where? In your colon. So now your colon is filled with a bunch of excess food because your cells say, I'm not going to get back up to go to work until 9:30 a.m. Now, we may think holistic health is a joke, but it's one of the biggest forms of warfare that's been used to destroy our people. Feeding us garbage. What's up, King? Feeding our people garbage and feeding us this garbage at the wrong hours. Like, let's look at milk. Let's talk about milk again. As they say, it does the body good. But milk is allowed to have 750,000 somatic cells, which is a euphemism for pus. It's also allowed to have 24,000 live bacteria before the Food and Drug Administration takes it off the shelf. And it's also pasteurized, a process in which they use radiation to prolong the shelf life of the milk. But this is what they tell us does our body good. But we know over 70% of who they call African Americans cannot digest it right, and rightfully so. But what it does is make me question everybody else. Because if we as so-called humans, as black humans, have a problem digesting milk, how come it's easier for everybody else to digest it? It's just questions. That's all I'm saying. But we wind up learning later on that white rice, white salt, white sugar, white flour is no good. I didn't say white people. That's an inference you can make. I'm just telling you, all these different foods seem to be acidic or they produce mucus. But they tell us we're creating a food pyramid, right? They never built the pyramid a day in their life, but they give you a food pyramid and they tell you to eat eggs, milk, and cheese. Now, many of you believe in Jesus Christ, right? Who believes in Jesus Christ? You raise your hand. All right, we got some. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, homie. So now let's ask the homie something. Do you think Mary went to the supermarket to get some Similac for baby Jesus? Of course not. If Jesus existed, right? Do you think Mary fed the Messiah off a goat's, off a cow's nipple? Or when Mary feed the Messiah from her own nipple? Now what we got to do is ask, what is exactly in breast milk that makes a differentiation from cow's milk? When you look up breast milk, you find out in the first 3 months specifically, there's colostrum fluid, a yellow liquidy fluid in the breast milk. And what it does is enhances your immune system, your ability to socialize, and it raises your IQ. So what happens when we feed our children cow's milk versus the black woman's breast milk? The cow's milk is not designed to cater to you specifically. The black woman's milk is designed to cater to you specifically. So the cow's milk is not going to raise your IQ, raise your digestion, or even enhance your ability to communicate with other people. We cannot rely on cows, people, to feed our children. We cannot rely on cows to feed our children. A lot of you say that you got sickle cell anemia and all this other stuff. But what is the number one reason why we have anemia problems? The number one reason we have problems with anemia because we're not taking in the right amount of iron. But that's a half-truth. What is the iron that we're actually supposed to take in? Iron fluorine. Not iron from meat. Iron fluorine. So you see, when we deal with these situations, like for instance, when a woman doesn't breastfeed,